Action, John.
Certainly are. And it'll be Nevin and Raymond Snyder, and the top is controlled by Nevin, who gets it to Monroe from Yankali. They lose the ball on a turnover as Timmy Glass steals the ball. Got a kick right away. Timmy Glass, the shooting guard, number 2 guard for Lock Haven, is out of Steel High, or Steelton, PA. Played for Central Dauphin East, however. As Lock Haven will trigger it inbound on the kickball. They go down low. And right away, Remensnyder working against Nevin draws the foul.
Remensnyder averaging 8.5 a game, but he took it right into Nevin on that play. Apparently that's one of the strategies to work on Nevin.
Well, we'll see what Lock Haven does on offense as Coach Dave Blank wants to control tempo. And with it at the line is Remensnyder, 6'10", junior, for the Bald Eagles. First is good. The Lock Haven rooting section is directly behind us. Most of the Millersville fans and student body across the way.
Remensnyder deliberate, but he hits them both.
Lock Haven showing some token pressure. They get the ball to Gaines. Yankali, top of the circle, Monroe. Drives, draws contact, gets it to Nevin, and Nevin jams it, and we're tied at 2.
Nevin says, you can take it at me, I can take it at you.
Check the matchup. Millersville is playing man. Penetration by Bacon, no good. Yank with a rebound and throws it away.
The Marauders with 2 early turnovers. Lock Haven actually with good defense and 2 early steals.
Well, we talked about the defense early, and we've seen it here in the first minute of play. As Bacon runs the offense for the Bald Eagles. Baseline right, there's a jumper by Jaycott. About a 10-footer. Bradfield working against Tim Glass. Monroe is checked by Bacon. Jump shot, got it, Monroe!
Well, that time Bacon seemed to be sagging off a little bit on Monroe, and Monroe took it right up over him.
Gaines is playing head up on Crable, as Coach Ann had mentioned. There's a jumper, good, and boy, he's got a nice touch, Steve. Baseline right, he's got 4 now in the same spot.
Lock Haven coming out gunning, hitting a couple long jumpers.
Bradfield penetrates, scoop shot, got it! I don't even have to tell you if the ball goes in the hole, just listen to the crowd, and we're tied at 6. Good defense by Monroe, but he reaches in now and gets Raymond Snyder. We were tied at 2, 4, and now 6. We haven't even played 2 minutes of basketball here from Pusilla. Inbound pass is triggered deep to Glass, who gets it off to Bacon, who runs the offense.
They've got Gaines right on dribble.
Jumper this time won't go, and Yank has the board. Some of the talk in the pregame was if Yank has a strong ball game, Millersville could be tough to beat. He could be the key. Figuring that as Bradfield hit, that maybe Crable and Gaines would neutralize one another, and if Gaines has a strong game, Lock Haven may have no one to match up with Yankaway. Whistle foul. Nevin in early foul trouble, picks up the second. This is Millersville's, quote, big lineup. And now they're going to go to the small lineup, as I just alluded to. Here comes Rob Bard, who I figured would be the first man off the bench for the Marauders.
Well, the Marauders with not much choice, and Bard's going to have a height disadvantage inside against Raymond Snyder.
They go down low. That's Crable. Baseline right. Same spot. He's got it. He's got 6 of the 8.
Well, they tried fronting him that time, but to no avail as they passed it over the head of Gaines, and Crable for the easy shot.
Gaines answers at the other end over Crable. Gaines is in the book, and it's 11-8. Millersville leads by 3. 17 minutes left in the first half. Bacon, left-handed point guard, gets it off to Jaycott, baseline right. Comes out top of the circle to Crable. Jump shot, Glass, back of the iron, won't go. Monroe has it to Gaines. It's Bradfield fell down and is holding the jaw. I hope it's just nothing serious.
Yeah, he's still holding it. He's playing one-handed defense. There we go. Oh, and now he took another shot to the jaw.
He's a tough ball player. Of course, Bradfield having the jaw broke against Cheney, green stick fracture.
Little surprised he's not wearing one of those helmets that the F&M guard's wearing.
11-8. Gaines inside, penetrates and hits.
Great move by Gaines. He got trapped underneath. Saw he could come back outside and put it in for the bucket.
So Tommy Gaines answers. We got two all-conference forwards going head-to-head. They got the ball down low to Raymond Snyder. That time Gaines picked him up from behind. And Monroe, I believe, picks up the foul, his second.
So the Marauders with two players in early foul trouble. We played but 4 minutes. The Marauders with a 5-point lead. They picked up 4 fouls. Lock Haven's picked up no fouls. And more importantly, 2 fouls apiece on Nevin and Monroe.
Matt Harris checks into the ball game for Monroe. Matt Harris, a deadly three-point shooter, but he's been in a shooting slump here the second half of the season. Penetration, no good. Loose basketball, and I believe Millersville has it. On a break to Bradfield, we're going to whistle on a foul in the backcourt. Foul's on Krabel.
That's Krebel's first foul. We're having trouble with that. I'm having trouble with that name. I've called him Dribble, Drible. So it is Krebel, correct, John?
Krebel, long E, I believe. He's going to get his points whether we butcher his name or not, Steve. They go down low to Yank. Working baseline. There's a blocking foul before the shot. Seems like the officials are calling them close here early, trying to control the tempo, if you will, from a referee standpoint.
That one's on Jaycott, so each of Lock Haven's top 2 players grab an early foul.
As we mentioned in the pregame, the feeling was Millersville was a bit deeper if it got into a foul shooting contest. Jump shot is no good. Yank with a rebound, lost it.
Tried to put it down, and Bacon with the steal.
Tony Bacon, a senior out of Pottsville. Go to Bacon. In the lane, jump shot, that's Krebel, and he's got it.
Hard to believe they leave their best shooter that open. He was 6-7 feet open on that one.
13-10, Millersville leads by 3. We've got 15 minutes left in the half. Jump shot, Bradfield, no good. Glass takes it off the glass for the Bald Eagles. Now they're double teaming and down the lane, all alone. Beautiful play, Bacon.
Give that assist to Krebel.
He saw the double team and knew that Bacon was open, and Bacon just came right down the lane and laid it in. Nice pass by Krebel.
And that's followed by a Millersville turnover. The Marauders' 4th here in the early going.
They may have stepped over the end line in their hurry to get the ball inbound. Costly turnover. Millersville leads by 1, 13-12. Lock Haven with a basketball.
Chance to go back on top for the Bald Eagles.
Penetration by Glass, but good defense in the middle by Bard. Three-pointer, no good. Glass again misses.
And he's going to get a frustration foul. Glass 0 for 4 here in the early going.
The Millersville basketball as they lead by 1. Now we get a foul on Lock Haven.
I believe. No, I thought it was on Jacobs, but it's not.
It's on Carl Brown, I believe, who's checked into the ball game. As I mentioned, Carl Brown would probably be the first big man off the bench. 6'5" soft out of Pittsburgh. 14:22 left in the half. Millersville with the ball and a 1-point lead as they go to Gaines. Gaines is working on Brown. Turnaround jumper, got it!
Nobody in this league can stop that shot. Nobody we've seen so far. That shot's unstoppable. All Gaines has to do is hit it. No easy chore.
It's almost like a fadeaway, and then as good as Gaines can leap, it's unstoppable. And there's a turnover as a traveling violation against the Bald Eagles.
Tommy Gaines really taking over the leadership of the club during the conference season.
Bradfield running the offense. Gets the Bard out of Manheim Township. Baseline left, jump shot. Harris.
Well,
Harris.
That might give Harris a little bit of confidence as he hits his first jumper.
That's got to be a real shot in the arm as Harris, when he gets on and plays his game, He can tear anybody up, but he's struggled of late.
That time, Harris played some good defense, and that's going to be a timeout. We've got a timeout on the floor. The Marauders, 7 minutes into the game, have taken a 17-12 lead.
In the pizza delivery game, the Noid can zap ordinary pizzas. But Domino's Pizza delivers more than all the others combined. So when you call Domino's Pizza, you get the best delivered pizza. The Noid just can't beat the best. Domino's Pizza. Nobody delivers better.
Back here at Millersville as we look into the Marauder huddle. We got a final score, John. Congratulations out to the Manheim Township girls. 46-37 winners over Penn Manor tonight for the Quad A District 3 Championship. Both those teams will be going on to state along with McCaskey. Fine representation for the Lancaster County girls. And now, back to the college action.
Okay, and of course Lancaster Catholic from AAA goes also. 17-12, Millersville after the media timeout with a basketball and a 5-point lead. There's Gaines, baseline right, better defense that time, and he gives up the shot. Yank working on Brown, won't go. Rebound, tipped loose, still loose, now controlled by Kriebel. There's a holding foul out front. As Bacon tried to pass it off the glass, and glass penetrated.
Lockhaven impressed with the way they move the ball around, looking for the good shot.
They've also denied Millersville, to this point, the fast break opportunities.
Millersville's had to work for it so far, but they've been red hot from the floor.
They lead by 5. There's more penetration by Bacon.
A foul on Harris, and that's the 6th Marauder team foul. Lockhaven will be shooting the rest of the half. 13 minutes to go. The Marauders up by 5, and Lockhaven shooting 1-1 from here on in.
Bacon, the left-handed point guard, and he really isn't a shooter, so they ought to kind of back off and stop that penetration.
Well, Lockhaven just brought a shooter in. Truman Green inbounding the ball, one of their top 3-point scorers off the bench.
Bacon tries to go inside. It's a tie-up, and I believe this will be Lockhaven's ball because Millersville won the tip.
The Marauders really converge on whichever guard, whether it be Glass or whether it be Bacon, trying to drive the middle. Of course, so far that's left Kriebel open on the wing a little bit, and there's a Marauder steal.
Steal by Gaines. Gaines leads it down almost too far for Kenny Brown, and does. That last trip down the floor, I saw that Yankali was taking Kriebel, and Gaines was on the other forward. We'll see how they match up this trip down.
Well, the first few times down the floor, Lockhaven successfully picked for Kriebel away from the ball, and he had open jumpers from the corners.
Harris is all over Truman Green now. As Bacon penetrates, a beautiful block by Yankali. Oh, my. Millersville throws it away as they try to get that transition game going. And
the Marauders have gotten that fast break you talked about earlier the last 2 times down the floor. However, neither one of them have been converted successfully. That time, somebody should have taken the middle. Everybody wanted to take the wings, and the result was a turnover.
17-12. It's been a quiet 3 minutes from the scoring column. There's penetration. Good defense by Yankali, and he's got his own block. And here comes Millersville off the break. It's Matt Harris, and a block at the other end is answered by Green.
Seeing some defense. That was a travel.
They got it. The referee is coming out on you, Steve. You had that call before the strike did. I find myself doing that myself, and sometimes it's easier to call from up here, as we're high above at Fusillo. Millersville with a 5-point lead and the basketball. Gaines, baseline, right, shot, won't go, but he's fouled.
And that's going to be on Kriebel, his second.
And if Kriebel gets into any kind of foul trouble, he obviously will not be guarding Tommy Gaines for long, and that may open up Gaines even more.
But we haven't seen either Monroe or Nevin who got an early foul trouble for the Marauders. They both went out at the 16-minute mark. Now at the 11:35 mark of the first half, it's Krebo drawing his second foul, but he stayed in for the time being.
Probably what we'll see is the next trip down, somebody else other than Krebo will be checking Gaines. As Gaines hits the first, he'll get a second. And the lead is 18-12 in a very low-scoring first half here from Millersville. I'm sure if you talk to Coach Chan, he'll take a 60-59 win as well as a 98-97 win.
Well, the Marauders have run off the last 6 points, and they have their biggest lead of the night at 7.
Bacon with the basketball, top of the key. Works at the Brown. He's going on Yankali.
Marauder defense playing as strong a man-to-man as we've seen all year.
Now you see the patient offense by Lockhaven, and Gaines almost intercepts the pass.
Marauders, you can tell they're really concentrating on defense tonight as well as concentrating on the offensive end of the floor, which you always see. They're really playing the D tonight.
Remen Snyder comes into the ball game, and going out will be Carl Brown. So they got the big man in there working against Bard. Jumper won't go. Glass has it. Gaines the tip to Bard.
Now Glass is averaging 12.5 points a game, but he has struggled tonight from the floor. He's about 0 for 6 or 7.
Kenny Brown into the ball game with Bard, and they go to Gaines down low. Won't happen. Kenny Brown follows and got it. Kenny Brown out of Lower Marion. 21-12, 9-point lead for Millersville. Now they're going to go to the big man working on Bard, and that's a good move by Lockhaven, as Remen Snyder must have 3-4 inches on Bard.
Well, surprisingly, that's the first time they've gone low to Remen Snyder since Nevin was out of the game. The first couple times down the floor, that's exactly what they did, took it right to Nevin. Now Bard, the smaller man, in there, and they haven't gone to him as much.
Remen Snyder at the line. He'll get 2. Steve mentioned Millersville's over the limit. Lockhaven has committed 5 team fouls, and we're at the 10:38 mark of the first half. Remen Snyder's first. Spills out. Dirk Remen Snyder, 6'10", junior from Belleville, Pennsylvania. 1 of 2. And the lead is 8. Millersville 21-13.
That breaks the Marauder streak of 8 straight points.
Bradfield working against Bacon. Kenny Brown. Nice pick as Brown picks for Bradfield. Baseline left to go to Harris, and Harris is checked tightly there by Green. Gaines in the lane. Won't go. Tipped up by Bard. Whistle foul. I believe we got a push on Bard.
That's exactly what we have, and that'll be his second foul. That was a good call. Bard really had no rebounding position there, just sort of butted in there, good strong move, but draws the foul and gets caught. And into the Marauder lineup for who is Yankowie, I guess, is back into the Marauder lineup.
Yankowie's in there along with Gaines, Monroe, Bradfield, and Harris. That's the 5 right now. And Krebo will be at the line, averaging 19 a ball game, and he's about halfway there already tonight.
He's got 6. He's their leading scorer.
He had 6 early, and Lockhaven's been quiet. He now has 7.
Well, they're going to let Lockhaven shoot at the easy end of the court the first half, the comparatively easy end of the court as far as student body is concerned.
Student body right will come into play in the second half. 21-15 as Krebo hits 2. Millersville with the ball on a 6-point lead at the 10-minute mark. Monroe now. Harris, 3-pointer, got it!
Well,
You hit the nail on the head, Steve.
Like we said, that break may well have helped Harris because he's now 2 for 2 tonight.
That's a pleasant surprise because Matt will be the first to tell you he's been struggling from that 3-point mark. And really, that's basically his job out there on offense, to hit that 3-pointer. Nice penetration and a move to dish off the Bacon.
Well, Yankowie had blocked the last 2 shots that went up like that, but that time Yankowie was too far behind the play, and Bacon in for the easy bucket.
Well, Millersville likes to take it inside. As you see here with Monroe penetrating, and a nice move, a bucket will count, and he'll go to the line. But if Matt Harris can hit that outside shot, it'll open things up underneath for the big men, Yancali and Gaines, and also Nevin if he checks back in, but he's saddled with 2. And right now, Millersville going with a small lineup, and it's paying dividends.
Well, one thing also that we have to consider is that Gaines, he's hit a couple of shots tonight, but he's also missed 2 or 3 pretty open shots, so somebody may have to pick up the slack if he doesn't have the type of night that he's been having, game in and game out the second half of the season, as the second part of the three-pointer is missed.
And Remens Snyder of the Bald Eagles gets the ball, the rebound, and he has it. That's Kriebel double team. Now they go deep out to Glass, and he's got a 3. So Glass answers, and it's 26-20.
Glass doesn't put up many. He's only put up 20 all season, but he hits that one.
Kenny Brown goes to Monroe. 2 penetrating guards out there. Shot is missed. Bradfield on the bench now. And Lockhaven with the basketball. They go to Remensnyder down low as Millersville almost is caught sleeping. And the follow is good by Remensnyder. And Yancali had the ball stolen from him.
I think he not only had the ball stolen from him, I think Kriebel came over his back and almost got his 3rd foul, but it didn't happen. And the Marauder lead all of a sudden is cut to 3.
I think you're right, Steve. I didn't want to be too partial, but I think you're right. Gaines, nice shot inside. Power move over Remensnyder as he is now guarding Gaines, trying to keep Kriebel out of foul trouble. 28-22, they go down low for the dunk. It's missed, but there's a foul as Kriebel tried to put it away. So both teams gone to their meal tickets that trip down, Gaines and Kriebel. And that's the first foul on Kenny Brown. That could have been called on a couple people. Fortunately for Millersville, Kenny Brown got nailed with it. He can afford it the most. And Kriebel back at the line. We've got a full house here tonight. The PSAC Final Four, if you will. The winner of this game here will take on Bloomsburg. A winner over Shippensburg in game 1. Kriebel hits the first, he'll get a second.
He's going for 10. He's got 9 now.
28-23, he can cut the lead to 4. And he does. Carl Brown will check in. And sitting down is Kriebel. He got his points. They took him out, maybe to save a foul. And there's that 2-2-1 zone press. They break it nicely as Gaines goes to Yancali, and it's a jam.
Yancali with his first bucket of the night with a little authority, and he can really jump.
There was no stopping the Yank man on that move. Get out of his way. Not exactly Charles Barkley, but I wouldn't stand in front of him. 30-24, the lead is 6. Jumper, bang! That's Timmy Glass. The lead is 4. As we're under 8 minutes. Bradfield now back into the game, working on Glass to Monroe. There's Gaines. As they've got Remensnyder, the 6'10" man on Gaines. They try to go low to Yancali, and Yancali zigged when he should have zagged.
Excellent defense there by Carl Brown on Yancali. He's been giving Yancali fits. And they really haven't been able to work that low post effectively with Yancali, although on the other side with Gaines, it's been quite successful.
Millersville dropping back on defense. Looks like they've gone to a little triangle and 2 this trip down as Brown has the ball stripped in the lane. It's still loose. And with a lot of hustle, Timmy Glass comes up with a loose ball. That's a travel underneath. Millersville right now is pressuring the guards, Bacon and Glass, and I believe playing a triangle on the other 3.
Well, Glass wasn't happy with that call, but I don't know what he's complaining about. He certainly traveled, took the stutter step underneath.
Sure did. Monroe now working the ball against Bacon. Monroe down the lane, stops and pops and hits. 10-footer in the lane. Monroe a super penetrator for the Marauders. The lead is 6. We're under 7 minutes. They go low. The shot is missed by Brown, and Tommy Gaines has a rebound and doesn't like being held from behind. I don't know if the whistle or the referee called a foul, but he should have.
Well, he did call foul, and Gaines got a little bit hot a little too early. The contact certainly didn't warrant the response.
I'll tell you what, Millersville can ill afford to lose Tommy Gaines in any kind of a trade-off, and Tommy lost his control a little bit, as he did in the Cheney game.
Well, the coach of Lock Haven, Dave Blank, wants to talk to the official. He's saying, hey, you know, what did my guy do? All he did was an aggressive foul. And that's the conversation that's going on that you can see right down in front of the scores table. He is hot.
Well, things are heated. We have a timeout on the floor. And also sponsoring tonight's game is the Fine Print, located at 245 West King Street, serving all your printing needs. We print everything but money. Call 393-6742 or stop in anytime. There's a good luck, Steve, of Millersville, or the Lock Haven coach, Dave Blank. A little upset.
Well, I don't know if he's upset at the referees or if he's just trying to get his team going, but if he doesn't watch it, he's going to get a T, and it's going to be very soon, because he keeps giving the officials the choke sign. Now, I don't know if he's saying the officials are choking, or if he's saying Gaines came up and choked his player, and that's what his complaint is. I'm not sure. But now John Cochan at the scores table wants to know what's going on, and he's saying, hey, give him a T. You know, enough is enough.
Well, what's interesting, Steve, is the first 10 minutes of this game, I thought they've called it very tight, trying to keep everything under control. And it's been more physical in the last 5 minutes on both ends of the floor. Gaines with the aggressive rebound, then was lassoed, didn't like it, and let everybody know about it. However, Gaines, much the same against Cheney, took a shot, and he retaliated, and that's when Bradfield stepped in and got nailed in the jaw. So whatever cooler heads got to prevail out there. We cannot, as Millersville standpoint, lose a Tommy Gaines.
Well, Tommy Gaines now pulling his teammates aside, maybe telling them to calm down. I don't know. But it's really time to get the action going again, John. We've had about a 2 or 3 minute break for what really wasn't much of a scuffle. And I think
they're saying there's a media timeout, but everyone's out there on the floor.
Well, I think what happened is, John, they're saying that was not a charged timeout to Lock Haven, but instead it was a media timeout, because if it were another media timeout, they certainly would be coming over to their benches now, and now all the confusion is over whether or not it's a media timeout. And
that's a good move on Dave Blank if he can buy some time and not get charged for the TO.
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen. So once again, they're going to try to get action started. And when we come back, Tommy Gaines is going to be at the line to shoot 1-of-1. The Marauders have a 6-point lead. We've got 6:40 left here in the first half.
And I believe that was the only call. Gaines is at the line for a 1-and-1. The lead is 6 with 6:40 left in the half as Gaines drills the first. Steve, you were talking to Greg Wright, the SID here. Do you have any more information to fill in?
He said he's going to find out at the half, but I'm pretty sure that it ended up being a media timeout, because it was the time for the media timeout, the 7-minute mark, as Gaines hits them both.
Well, there were no other fouls called, or technicals or what have you. I think Gaines got off a little easy that time. He could have gotten nailed for that action. The lead is 8 as Gaines hits 2 foul shots. And now Bacon of Lock Haven with a basketball.
They're keeping Jekyll out of the scoring so far. They've got Kenny Brown all over him. And they've got Gaines on the big man.
Penetration by Bacon, no good. Good defense inside. And now we got a foul call. It was a late call, but I think it's going against Millersville and maybe Gaines.
I think it is against Gaines. And for Gaines, that's going to be his first.
I don't know if that's a makeup or what, but it was a late call.
Well, I sort of thought he was over the back. There were certainly enough bodies on the floor for somebody to have come over the back.
Of course, in all fairness to the officials, there's so much noise in this building. They could have called that whistle 5 seconds ago, and I never heard it. Glass is at the line for a 1-and-1. First is good. He'll get a second. 6:15 left. And torrid first half. We just had a 3-minute dry spell sorting out all the exchanges. 2 for Lock Haven, and the lead is 6 by Millersville with the ball. Bradfield.
I'll tell you, it is really hot on the floor. Every player out there, their jersey is completely sweated through. Yankali took a shot in the air that time and still scored the bucket.
Well, maybe it's like the Boston Garden. It's not air conditioned, and they turn the heat up come playoff time. Down the lane they go. Nice rejection by Yankali, but the follow goes by Snyder.
Snyder really getting into the offense tonight. He has 9 first half points for the Bald Eagles.
36-30. Low scoring first half.
But within Millersville's range, it's going to be close to 50. Where they want the game. Lock Haven likes to play it in the 70s.
Gaines is stripped nicely by Bacon, but the steal by Bradfield on the outlet pass. Monroe has it. Penetrate. Is it tipped or not? No, it'll be Lock Haven ball.
Matt Harris going to come back in the Marauder lineup, and Kenny Brown's going to sit down. Lock Haven with a chance to cut it to 4. Lock Haven staying close. The Marauders have stretched it to as much as 9 after jockeying for position in the early going. Lock Haven had a couple of leads. Millersville stretched it out, but Lock Haven keeps bringing it back.
Well, good defense will do that, and that's what's got him in the game right now. Out front, it's Bacon. Jaycott working on Harris, and Harris is called for the hold.
Must have been before the shot, because the shot fell, but it was before the shot. Interestingly enough, Lock Haven's been doing it without Dean Kriebel, who's in little foul trouble with 2 fouls. And of course, for the Marauders, 3 guys with 2 fouls, and none of them have been back in action. Phil Nevin, we haven't seen him since early on. I guess we have seen a little bit of Mike Monroe.
Monroe is out there right now. Shot goes for Jaycott. And the lead sliced to 5. One of the things Lock Haven has been able to do defensively is deny Millersville the fast break. The only 2 times Millersville did run with the basketball, they threw it away. Yankali with an aggressive rebound. Millersville with a 5-point lead. The ball, we're under 5 minutes. Gaines thought he traveled. Yeah, he did. Tommy Gaines shuffled the feet out there at the foul line.
Brown back in the line. Seen a lot of activity from Brown tonight, shuffling in and out.
And Bard. Both teams playing a little chess game here. Almost like a hockey game as they're coming over the boards at every stoppage.
Well, Tommy Gaines is going to get a little bit of a rest as Bard comes in.
And probably if the ball goes out of bounds, he'll come in for offense. Penetration, and he lost it. He turned the ball over, I believe.
Good defense, causing the turnover. He thought he was fouled, but official disagrees.
Bradfield brings the ball up the floor. Token pressure by Tim Glass. Kenny Brown looks for Yankali. It's not there. There's Harris. Bad pass in the lane. Stolen away by Tim Glass. 3-on-1. Oh, he almost traveled. He held the dribble.
Then he almost got knocked over by one of his teammates. I thought he traveled again. Now he got kicked in the head.
Takes the shot. Rebound underneath is blocked. A power move underneath by Stacy Porter, and a foul.
It's wild out there, John. That was quite a sequence there.
I'll tell you, that lane in there is no place for the meek. It's a physical confrontation in the paint.
And that foul's going to be on Matt Harris, and that is his 3rd foul.
Hard to believe Matt Harris, who plays on the outside, has picked up 3. He didn't even start the ball game. He's picked up his 3rd in about 10 minutes as Gaines comes in for Harris.
Well, fouls are going to play a big part in this one before it's over tonight. The Marauders with 3 guys with 2 fouls, and now Harris with 3.
At the line, Stacy Porter is a 6'6 junior out of Capitol Heights, Maryland. As he is the 8th man off the bench. Prior to Porter checking in, it was a 7-man rotation with Brown and Green off the bench. 4:11 to go. Shot is good. Lock Haven, as Steve mentioned, just hanging close. They can cut it to 3. They don't, as Yankali takes the rebound on a miss. Lock Haven making 1 out of 2 the last 2 trips down.
Marauders are going to have to pass a little bit better. They have more than 10 turnovers here in the first half.
A little sloppy as they were against Cheney that night. Kenny Brown, penetration, baseline left. He's got a 10-footer. Kenny Brown has come on strong in the second half of this campaign for the Marauders. Bacon penetrates, off glass, got it. Got to play better defense than that as Bacon walked in on the left side and laid it in. 38-34. Bradfield down the lane, 10-footer, got it.
Bradfield, who hasn't been heard from since early in the game, now has 7.
Millersville lead back up to 6. They go low to Remensnyder, off glass, Gaines with a loose change. Bradfield out front for Millersville. Dishes nicely to Gaines, and Gaines hits it.
That time the Marauders ran their offense the way they like to run it, with Bradfield penetrating, and Lock Haven did not like what they see. The Marauders have jumped out to a 42-34 lead, 3 minutes left in the first half.
Near McCaskey High School on North Franklin Street is a full-service station whose service can't be beat. Get out of the cold and into Durs Amoco, your full-service station. Durs has personalized care on tune-ups, oil changes, and all-car repairs. Durs will fully service all your winter needs, from Ultimate Premium to batteries, wiper blades, and all accessories. Full winter service includes cleaning at Durs Self-Serve Car Wash. And think Durs for your state inspection. Call 299-4030. Durs Amoco, across from McCaskey.
Well, there's a good look at the crowd. It's standing room only here at Fusillo Gymnasium as the fans have come to life with that Millersville spurt.
Well, Tommy Gaines starting to take a little bit of control of the ball game. He's got 14 points. Probably more importantly for the Marauders, he only has 1 foul, where a number of other Marauders are in some foul trouble, but they put the last 4 points on the board. Bobby Bradfield both times driving the lane, one time stopping up short for a jumper by himself, then dishing off to Tommy Gaines, and the Marauders stretch the lead to 8.
And Kriebel is still on the bench. There was almost a travel by Bacon.
Well, I'll tell you, I bet you that floor is getting a little slippery. It's so hot and humid here, I think it's affecting the floor now.
Well, the grounds crew will be out at halftime to mop it up, but they're going to play another 2:45. In the lane, penetration, that's Stacy Porter.
Well, that wasn't pretty, but Porter got the job done.
42-36 Millersville. 2:30 left in the first half. Well played first half. A lot of defense. Kenny Brown, penetration. Runs out of running room. Bradfield for 3, won't go. They literally ran Kenny Brown out of bounds. Now again, Lock Haven can cut it to 4. Lock Haven running their offense, very patient. Jump shot, baseline left. Green won't go. And Porter with a nice board. Porter's done a nice job coming in off the bench.
Porter, a solid inside player. And Marauders letting him have that outside shot.
Turnaround jumper in the lane. That's the big man, Remensnyder.
Remensnyder with 11.
And he only averages 8.5. He's done his job, but Phil Nevin at the other end has spent most of the first half on the bench. As Millersville goes with a small lineup. They lead by 4. Bradfield for 3. Won't go. Rebound.
Bard almost threw his 3rd foul there as he reached on Porter. Got away with it.
Man-to-man defense by Millersville. Bradfield goes to J-Cap. Almost a travel there. Nice defensive play by Kenny Brown. And Lock Haven has made their comeback here, Steve, with Kriebel on the bench.
Well, they've got to be happy. They've kept Kriebel with only 2 fouls. And at the same time, they stayed in the ball game.
And he will certainly be well rested for the second half.
So Harris with 3 fouls back in for the Marauders.
Well, we got a minute
well, that's
left.
what I was talking. Now, that's got to be a travel, folks.
And Coach Han was almost on the floor calling it for him, but to no avail. There's penetration by Bacon and a nice drive. Tony Bacon.
Bacon with 8.
And the lead now is only 2. Millersville, 42-40. Monroe looking for a pick out front. Goes to Barr. And Kelly checked by Jaycott. Shot won't go. Whistle foul.
Got to give Dave Blank a little bit of credit. He saw things were getting away from him when Bradfield ran 2 nice breaks into the middle. The Marauders jumped up by 8. That was at about the 3-minute mark. Now 36 seconds left in the half, and they've cut it to 2.
And at that point, he called the timeout at 42-34. Lock Haven has answered with 6 straight. We'll see if Yank can break the string here.
That's Jaycoat's second foul. So the 2 big guns offensively, Jaycoat and Kriebel, each have 2 fouls for Lock Haven.
Gaines now is going to check out.
Don Ross into the lineup, 6'9" freshman.
Out of Hershey, Pennsylvania. Harry King Kelly at the line, averaging 16 a ball game. First is good. Lead is 3. As you mentioned, Steve, that the tempo is an up tempo, but Lawrenceville still hasn't been able to run. 1 out of 2 for Yankali. Lock Haven will probably hold it for 1 shot.
Oh, 3-pointer, they could go in even.
I think they will hold it for 1. The worst they could do is trail by 3. They could tie it or only trail by 1. As you can see on your screen, they're holding the ball out front.
And Millersville's going to keep playing zone, so.
We're down to 15 seconds.
See if they work at the jet code for 3. No, he's not on the floor.
Green throws one up in the lane, won't go. Rebound Millersville with 2 seconds. And a foul on Lock Haven, I do believe, and that's a big one.
It's on glass.
That's a really bad foul on Lock Haven's part, because there's no way Millersville is going to go 92 feet in 3 seconds for point. And now they could up it to 5 and have a little bit of breathing room here at the half.
Well, Lance Gelnett's going to get a shot at the line, and all the Marauders drop back to make sure they don't make the same mistake that Lock Haven made.
Excellent observation, because it was a foolish foul at the other end of the floor.
So instead of it being a 1-point Millersville lead at the break, now the Marauders have a chance to stretch it to 5.
As Lance Gelnett, I didn't even see him sneak into the ball game. He hits 2, and the lead is 5. This is good if it goes. Oh! Almost went. We've come to the close of an exciting first half here at Fusillo, with the Millersville Marauders leading the Lock Haven Bald Eagles 45-40.
In the pizza delivery game, the Noid can zap ordinary pizzas. But Domino's Pizza delivers more than all the others combined. So when you call Domino's Pizza, you get the best delivered pizza. The Noid just can't beat the best. Domino's Pizza. Nobody delivers better.
Welcome to A Difference in Movies, AMC's Wonderland Theaters. We offer quality entertainment at reasonable prices. Check out the discount rates and bring the family. Stop by the concession stand. The popcorn is popped fresh every day. Or try any of the delicious snacks, all reasonably priced, so bring a date. A perfect gift any time of the year. Pick up AMC gift certificates at the box office. AMC's Wonderland Theaters, located on Route 30 East, next to Dutch Wonderland. Call 394-7251 for exact showtimes and prices.
I said goodbye to high calories, thanks to the great taste of TCBY frozen yogurt.
And we say goodbye to ice cream. Bye, ice cream! Thanks to the taste of TCBY waffle cones. And banana splits.
My team said goodbye to high calories.
Bye!
Because TCBY frozen yogurt tastes like premium ice cream with only about half the calories.
Goodbye, high calories.
You're never too young to say goodbye to high calories.
Check out TCBY at these Lancaster locations.
Time is running out. Showtime has a special offer that'll blow away everything else on TV. Call now and you'll get Showtime for half price. Showtime has hits like Fatal Attraction. You won't see that if you don't have Showtime. Good Morning Vietnam.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Beverly Hills Cop 2. You won't see those if you don't have Showtime either. Showtime exclusives. Here you see them, there you don't. Take advantage of our half-price offer before it's too late. Showtime also has The Untouchables. Throw Mama from the Train. You won't see those if you don't have Showtime. But you can see that for yourself. Don't wait another second. Call now to order and watch Showtime blow away everything else on TV.
Call and order Showtime now. Offer length may vary.
Best Friends, it's back. Best Friends is back on cable channel 22 on Monday and Thursday at 7:30 p.m. with hosts Beverly Miller and co-hosts Krista Crago, Andrea Campbell, and John Hurst, bringing you vet talks, informative talks, grooming tips, and a few surprises and friends of our own. And of course, you'll see the animals lost and up for adoption, so join us for Best Friends, Monday and Thursday at 7:30 p.m. only on cable channel 22.
We're back here at Fusillo Gymnasium, game 2 of the night's PSAC doubleheader. And Millersville leads at halftime by a score of 45-40. In the first game, the Bloomsburg Huskies defeated the Shippensburg Red Raiders. This game started out slowly, a lot of defense. We were tied at 2, 4, and 6. Millersville jumped out to an 8-point lead. 9, I think, at one time was their biggest lead, led 27-18. Lock Haven battled back, got it to within 6, down to 4. Then Millersville with a little run went up 42-34 before Coach Blank and the Bald Eagles called timeout. They got it to within 2, and then just before the half, they had the basketball trailing 43-40 with a chance to tie or cut it to 1. They lost it, committed a foul, and Millersville answered with 2 foul shots at the other end of the floor, and they lead 45-40 here at half. Steve Geisenberger along with myself, John Graham, and Steve, I believe you have a guest here at halftime. Steve?
Sure do. Our halftime guest tonight is Dick Yoder. Dick's from Westchester, but more importantly tonight, he's a member of the Eastern Regional Advisory Committee, and I'm not sure exactly what the Eastern Regional Advisory Committee does. I assume they have something to do with picking the 32 teams that are going to end up playing for the national championship at Division II level.
Well, yes, it does. The country is divided into 6 regions, and each region has a group of people. Each one has a chairperson. The Eastern Regional chairperson was Herm Sledzik, the Associate Director of Athletics at IUP. Herm, in the middle of the season, took a sabbatical leave from IUP, and Bud Gannon, who's the athletic director, Bud Elwell, excuse me, the athletic director at Gannon University, is taking over the chairmanship. But with Dr. Todd Everly, who is the Assistant Commissioner of PSAC on the committee, and Dr. Dick Wetton from Pace is also on the committee, and the 4 of us weekly rank the regional, our regions, the teams, we rank the top 5 or 6, and then the chairperson takes that information to a national committee, then that ranks the top 20. That's what you see in the paper every week. In addition to that annual or that weekly rating, we as a committee will rank a final group, and we will do that Sunday morning on a conference call at 9 o'clock. We'll rank the Eastern Regional top 4, maybe top 5, and then that's taken to the national committee. Then that puts the tournament together.
Okay.
Only selects a team, but then selects the site.
You say there's 6 regions. How many teams from each region, or does it vary by region?
Well, the NCAA Division II Basketball Committee has taken a position that they're going to try as hard as they can to give as much equal representation from the various regions, and then try to get more regional play before they go on into the into the further rounds. In the past, we've been very fortunate in our region. We've gotten many times 5 selected, sometimes 6. Now let me just throw one little bugaboo in here first before I get too far away. The PSAC, the Pennsylvania Athletic Conference winner, automatically has a bid. And the Mid-East Conference, which is made up of Textile and Gannon, the 2 ranked teams, also their winner has an automatic bid.
So you've got 2 automatic bids.
You have to slot those in first.
And the East will at least have 4 representatives,
yes,
playing a little numbers game here. So at least 2 other teams will be chosen.
Correct.
But where those 2 teams come from, what states are included in the Eastern region?
Well, of course, all of Pennsylvania. There's some New York Division II schools also, Buffalo, Pace, C.W. Post, New York Tech and so forth, but all of the Pennsylvania Conference and the Mid-East Conference, which includes Lemoyne, Textile. Oh, here I go. Can't think of the name.
That's okay. But all right. So basically, what you're saying is two of the teams are picked. The rest will be based on their national rankings during the season, or it depends on this week. For example, and I know you can't say for sure, is more weight given to a victory tonight, or to a record during the season, or is it just hard to say?
well, that's a great question. It's hard to say, but I'm going to give it a stab. What the committee tries to do is to select at the end of the season the best basketball teams. Now that's measured a lot of different ways. One, of course, is the health and availability of the fine student athletes. If someone here tonight that's one outstanding player, God forbid, injures a knee or something, that definitely have an effect on the ability of the team to perform. That's one of the criteria. Another criteria is how well they are doing now. Teams that get hot in tournaments tend to be selected because they have demonstrated that at this time of the year, after all this basketball, 27, 28 games, that they are good and they can play highly competitive, packed house kind of basketball. And so that's definitely a factor, how they're doing now. And of course, as you mentioned, the overall factor is how well did they do the entire season. Now, fortunately, we have quite a few fine basketball teams across the country that all have 21, 22, 23 victories. So that makes it a little bit more tougher also.
One more quick question. How do they determine where the next round will be?
Another good question. Each school, each institution that has been competitive has received from the committee an opportunity to place a bid that they would like to host the game. And they project the kind of crowd they're going to have and the crowd, the kind of community support and institutional support. These bids are submitted well in advance. After the teams are selected, then the selection committee sits down and looks at the sites. Not only is crowd important, but also availability of good facilities for the teams, a history of the community supporting the teams, and so on. What we, of course, try to do is get the contest in a good region with as much crowd as we can.
And is it always at a site where there's a team already that's still in the tournament involved? It always isn't 2 or 4 teams play at that site in the first round.
We always have it at the site of one of the teams, yes.
Okay, thank you very much for being with us, Dick. I know you have a big weekend. You'll probably hardly get any sleep. We've got a few messages, and we'll be back with the second half of this ball game. The Marauders lead it at the half, 45-40.
Millersville University is the University of Lancaster County. Founded as a private teacher training school in 1855, Millersville is now one of the 14 universities of the state system of higher education. Degree programs are available in a wide range of fields. Approximately 7,000 students, many of them Lancaster County residents, study at Millersville. Many local residents attend the university on a part-time basis, both at the undergraduate and graduate level. Some seek skills necessary for career advancement, and others work toward a degree. The university serves the community, too, by offering non-credit courses and specialized workshops and courses both on and off campus. Millersville's academic offerings include more than 100 low-cost, high-quality programs in its 3 schools: the School of Science and Mathematics, the School of Humanities and Social Sciences, and the School of Education. In addition to degree programs in the traditional liberal arts and teacher training fields, the university curriculum includes majors in business administration, meteorology, computer science, nursing, medical technology, nuclear medicine, and industrial technology. For students seeking highly challenging academics, the university provides an honors program. Also available are pre-professional programs such as pre-med, pre-law, and cooperative engineering. The university also enriches the Lancaster County community through a variety of special events: concerts, plays, art exhibits, and lectures. the Center for Politics and Public Affairs brings to campus well-known political leaders whose lectures are open to the public. And Millersville's Cultural Affairs Committee annually offers students and local residents a full schedule of films, concerts, dance programs, and stage shows. The university supports its students with numerous services, including personal and academic counseling, tutoring, placement assistance, and recreational and intramural sports programs. In intercollegiate sports, Millersville has a diversified 18-sport program for men and women. The Marauders compete in one of the nation's best small college leagues, the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, and vie for NCAA Division II honors in 15 sports. Scholarships are available to highly qualified students in the arenas of sports and academics. Many scholarships are possible because of the contributions made by businesses, friends, employees, parents, and alumni of the university. More than 6,000 alumni of Millersville reside in Lancaster County, and many are involved in programs to support excellence in all areas of the university. You're invited to visit Millersville's park-like campus. Enjoy the beautiful area around the lake, explore the library and art galleries, and tour the well-maintained buildings. Get to know Millersville. It's your university. For further information, write to the Office of Admissions, Millersville University, Millersville, Pennsylvania, 17551, or call 872-3371.
Well, we're back at Millersville. You can see on the big board, it's the Marauders 45, the Lock Haven Bald Eagles 40. Tonight's game is brought to you by Durs Amico, your full-service station located on North Franklin Street across from McCaskey. By Domino's Pizza, no problem, pizza delivered free in 30 minutes. By AMC Wonderland Cinema 4, located on Route 30 East, next to Dutch Wonderland. And by TCBY, the country's best yogurt, with 4 locations in Lancaster to serve you. And by CPD, Centerville Paint and Decorating Store, located in Sycamore Court on Centerville Road. Proud to sponsor tonight's game. Steve, the score 45-40 in favor of Millersville, and maybe now's an opportunity to tell our fans about the first half stat summary.
Well, you can pretty much summarize it in one sentence for the Marauders. They've been shooting very well from the floor, 18 of 28, 64%. Lock Haven's been shooting 39%. You go down through the rest of the stats, you would think Lock Haven be ahead by a dozen. Lock Haven's out-rebounded Millersville 23-15. The Marauders have turned the ball over 10 times, Lock Haven 7. The leading scorer in the ball game, Tommy Gaines for Millersville, 14 points. For Lock Haven, Kriebel has 10, Raymond Snyder has 9, and Bacon has 8. A little bit more balanced scoring. You look at the foul trouble, Harris, the only player on either team with 3, but a lot of players out there with 2. For Lock Haven, Kriebel has 2 and Jetcoat has 2. They're both key players. For the Marauders, Rob Hart has 2, Phil Nevin has 2. We didn't see much of Phil Nevin. We didn't see any of Phil Nevin after the first 5 minutes. Mike Monroe has 2. So the Marauders are going to have to work to stay out of foul trouble in the early going as we get going here in the second half.
Certainly will. We're going to see Phil Nevin right now. He's got the basketball, and Millersville needs something out of Phil Nevin here in the second half. He's got a board.
They just got, I thought he...
I believe the foul's on the Bald Eagles.
It is on glass, and that's going to be his third.
I think if the Marauders can get anything out of Nevin here in the second half, I mean, that's one of the reasons why they're out-rebounded so bad. I think it would be a big help because Gaines and Yankowie did have strong first halves.
I thought that foul might have been on Nevin, and that would have quickly taken him out again.
Both teams starting, I believe, with the same 5 that started the ball game. As Millersville, after 1 miss, now running the offense again as Gaines penetrates, shoots, and scores. Those nice soft rims here in Millersville. And Tommy Gaines got 16. And a 7-point lead for Millersville. Turnaround jump shot won't go, and Millersville's Monroe with the basketball.
Second half starts like the first. The Marauders hot shooting, and the Marauders turning it over, and Lock Haven cold shooting.
You know, with 2 stats there, I thought Millersville had a lot more turnovers than Lock Haven did. I didn't know it was that close, but I didn't realize that Millersville was out-rebounded that badly, but they certainly were. And as we mentioned, that's 3 times now Millersville tried to push the ball down the floor, and they've thrown it away. Yankowie comes out. Bradfield taking on glass. That's the two big men working, and Remensnyder gets the best of Phil Nevin.
Remensnyder showing he's not scared to go to the hole. He's got 11. Probably his shooting percentage is as good as anybody tonight for Lock Haven, although we haven't seen a lot of Kriebel. Kriebel sat out about 7 or 8 minutes of that first half, so he should really be well rested.
Nevin with a jump shot from way outside, not his shot. I don't believe that was in the playbook either. Rebound to Lock Haven. They can cut the lead again. As Millersville shot out to the 7-point lead. Now Lock Haven coming back. Jump shot off glass is good by Jaycoat. All of a sudden, what was once a 7-point lead is now cut to 3 as we approach the 18-minute mark.
Well, I'm sure we're going to see Lock Haven try to get the ball in the hands of Jaycoat, and there's another Marauder turnover. That's a dozen in the ball game. We're going to see Lock Haven live and die in the second half trying to get the ball into the hands of Jaycoat and Kriebel because they really were pretty much held at bay the first half.
And Nevin out of the ball game, and they go with a small lineup right off the bat. It's Bard checking back in. Jump shot over Gaines, and that's Mr. Kriebel. As we mentioned, Lock Haven stayed tight in that first half, and Kriebel really wasn't a big factor.
Well, Lock Haven now run off a run of 6 straight points, and they only trail by 1.
They go to Yankelli, who's guarded by Jaycoat. Won't go, rolls out.
Yankowie did not follow his shot that time. He had a clear pass to the bucket to follow that shot. Instead, he was rooting for it to go in. The result is a Lock Haven rebound and a chance to take the lead for the first time since 6-4 early in the ball game.
It was almost as if Yankowie knew the ball was in, but it popped out. Penetration, jump shot, Jaycoat, no good. Bradfield. Millersville wants to run. Nice pass on the floor to Monroe, and he's got it.
Great assist by Bobby Bradfield, setting that one up to Monroe.
There was a big turn of events. They lead by 3 now. Lock Haven with the basketball. They go low to Remensnyder over Bard. And Lock Haven again sees the mismatch. And Remensnyder's really been the biggest factor for Lock Haven in terms of before the game we felt that maybe Nevin and he would neutralize each other. Monroe penetrates, and we get a foul out front, I believe, against the Bald Eagle.
Remensnyder with 13 points, Kriebel with 12.
And Remensnyder only averaging 8.5 coming into this ball game. And Nevin has not been a factor whatsoever. If anything, a negative factor. 49-48. Millersville with the ball and a 1-point lead. Monroe, top of the circle.
Remensnyder doesn't seem to be that mobile underneath, but he seems tough once he gets the ball in his hands. Perhaps the Marauders will try to front him a little bit.
Bard swings it to Bradfield. 3-pointer rolls out. Good, strong rebound underneath. No call. I can't believe it. Unbelievable. It's Millersville's ball. But Monroe with a rebound underneath was just hammered.
Yeah, they missed one.
Tell you what, it was easy to see from up here, I'll tell you that.
It was easy to...
I don't know.
I know 3,500 people that saw it.
They go to Gaines down low. Power move. Won't go, but he's fouled. And right away, Millersville is getting Lock Haven into some second half foul difficulty with the third.
Well, as you know from officiating, John, when there's a call that close to the underneath official, the outside official just assumes that the inside man is going to get it. And he's sometimes shocked when they miss something that obvious, and therefore he doesn't make the call either.
I don't think he was screened out. That might have been the case, but as you mentioned, either one could have called it. Fortunately for Millersville, the rebound fell into Millersville's hands, and Gaines got it in the lane and drew the foul. As Harris is going to check in for Bard, and they're really going to go with a small lineup now because they have both Bard and Nevin on the bench.
Well, they've got 3 guards out there, and then Yankowie and Gaines, so they're going to have to crash the boards, but if they can crash the boards, they should be able to run with this lineup.
Tommy Gaines can't find a first to go home. He'll get his second. Neither team shot all that well from the foul line in the first half. Gaines 1 of 2, and the lead is 2, 50-48. We've got a tight one here at Fusillo. Green into the ball game for the Bald Eagles, along with Carl Brown, the first subs for Lock Haven. Nice turnaround bank shot off glass by Tony Bacon. high over Yankali.
And we're tied at the 16-minute mark, and it was about 16 minutes in the first half the last time they were tied.
Gaines in the lane, dishes back off to Monroe. Monroe loses the handle. And the drive is good by Tony Bacon. And Lock Haven takes the lead. Almost said the Huskies, but they won the first game. They had those maroon uniforms like Bloomsburg.
Tony Bacon coming to life. He's got a dozen.
Gaines to Monroe. Good defense and a foul on Bacon, I do believe.
I'm a little surprised that John Cochan didn't call a timeout there during that run. The Marauders up by 7 early in the half at 47-40 in just 4 minutes. That lead disappeared, and Lock Haven has turned it around with a 2-point lead for themselves.
There's a three by Harris, won't go. Lock Haven with the ball, and a 2-point lead. Green in traffic and a foul on Yankali, or no, Bradfield it looks like. Well, Steve, the only thing I can guess about your statement is the fact that Millersville's at home, they don't like to give in and admit that Lock Haven's making a run. I think they'd be more prone to call that timeout on the road. But you're right, they got to stem the tide here early as Lock Haven's got a little run going.
The Marauders need to win tonight, or their fate's going to be in the hands of Dick Yoder instead of themselves. Dick's a nice guy. He was our halftime guest, but I think the Marauders would rather win it on the court.
You can't politic for Millersville a bid there? You didn't do that at halftime? Win or lose?
I tried to get him to commit, but without any success.
I think what it would definitely hurt, whether they get a bid or not, is they'd probably lose a chance to host anything. That would be for sure. The lead is 2. Lock Haven on top. Bradfield brings the ball down the floor for the Millersville Marauders. There's Yankali, open underneath. Won't go. Second effort, another nice block, and Lock Haven is throwing the D at Millersville now.
And Monroe is furious. He once again thought that he was hammered inside. That time a little bit less obvious if he was hit at all.
Millersville's only scored 5 points, and we've played over 5 minutes.
Well, they're not getting the ball into Gaines's hands at all here in the second half.
Monroe tries, and he's fouled.
And I believe that's 4 on Tim Glass. We'll have to wait to see what the scoreboard says.
I'll tell you what, Monroe in frustration really threw that ball with a little bit more velocity than the official wanted to see coming.
They are calling fouls against Lock Haven. That's Lock Haven's 6th foul. The Marauders will be shooting the rest of the way. 14:50 left in the ball game.
Could be a big factor. They go low to Yankali with authority. Yanks on the rim and puts it down.
Just what the Marauders needed.
That'll get the fans back into the ball game too. A big play by Millersville. Now they're going to have to turn up the D a notch. And they do, as Monroe is all over Jaycott. Jump shot. Jaycott won't go. Tip loose. Monroe has it. Monroe leads the break. Down the lane. Nice reverse movement. He's got it.
Monroe playing like a man possessed. First getting the big rebound. Now the big point.
Steve, I think the 2 times he was hammered down there and no call has got him fired up. And the Marauders now lead by 2. The place is heating up.
Gaines on Creeville.
Green penetrates. No good. Rebound. Green again. In the lane. Got it. Lock Haven getting that second and third shot. And we're tied again at 54.
Truman Green. First bucket of the ball game.
Gaines in the lane. Jumper. Back in the iron. Won't go.
Millersville not hitting the offensive boards that time down the floor. Everybody cleared out. Lock Haven does not run that well. Surprised that Millersville isn't hitting those offensive boards harder.
Lock Haven is winning this game on the boards. There's no doubt about that. There's a whistle and a foul on Gaines as he tries to deny Dean Kriebel the baseline.
Foul on Gaines is only his second, and we've got a timeout on the floor. 13 left on the scoreboard, and it's 54 apiece.
Well, with a timeout on the floor, also sponsoring tonight's game is the Fine Print, located at 245 West King Street. Serving all your printing needs, we print everything but money. Call 393-6742 or stop in anytime. Well, Steve, 13-13 on the board, and a pair of 54s up there. Not a whole lot to choose from. However, I am concerned about the dominant edge that Lock Haven has on the board, and Millersville's inability to follow their shot.
Well, with the problems that Millersville's having on the boards, a little bit surprised that Nevin's not getting more playing time. Even though he has a few fouls, it can't hurt to put him in for a few minutes. It's not like they're saving him for the stretch or anything. So let's see if we see a little bit more of Phil Nevin to counter that. And we're not to start here, but maybe the Marauders feel that they need the speed out there on the floor, which Nevin does not provide them.
Well, if Coach Cochan feels that Lock Haven's going to go to Kriebel, perhaps they don't need Nevin as much, but if they start pounding it inside to Remensnyder, somebody's going to have to contain him.
Well, they've got Gaines on Remensnyder. No, that's...
Gaines is on Kriebel right now.
Yeah, Remensnyder's not in the lineup either.
Well, that might explain why Nevin's on the bench, but there's a drive and a move by Kriebel. And a Lock Haven lead at 56-54.
Lock Haven hanging in there after that dunk by Yankowie, coming right back with 4.
Lock Haven, a foul and a power move by Yankowie, and that's Kriebel, I believe. That's a big move. He's upset at the officiating, but I'll tell you what, he was all over Yankowie. So both times when Lock Haven made moves to take the lead, Yankowie answered with a big bucket at the other end. And Yankowie picking up the slack. He completes the three-point play, and now the lead is 1. As the Yank man having a strong second half. 12:42 to go. Millersville by 1. They go down low. Oh, left all alone is Bacon.
Bacon having a big second half.
And it's 58-57. Monroe penetrates. Won't go. Rebound. Remensnyder. I don't understand why they can't contain Bacon a little bit better. They know that he won't shoot the ball from the outside, but he's had a lot of points off penetration. As Kenny Brown checks Jaycott and fouls him.
Well, the big reason they're not able to contain them is that they're concentrating on the big men down low. Every time any one of the 3 big men, whether it be Jetcoat, Remensnyder, or Kriebel gets the ball, they're really sloughing off and leaving the guards cut to the basket unmolested.
And they can knife to the hole in a hurry. They've gotten a lot of buckets that way. Turnaround jumpers, got it, and that's Kriebel. And the lead is 3. Lock Haven's biggest lead.
Biggest lead of the night.
11:54 to go. Millersville's going to have to turn it up now. Monroe, top of the circle, no good. And no rebound whatsoever as Gaines is checked out of there by Remensnyder.
Remensnyder with a good job boxing out on the boards that time.
Here comes Nevin checking in. There's a move. Down low, whistle foul. No shot. It's either Monroe or Gaines.
Well, it's either Gaines' 3rd or Monroe's 4th.
Millersville, I think, wants some time.
No,
Phil Nevin is going to check in for Monroe, I do believe.
It's going to be on Yankowie, and that's his first. And this time, John Cochan is going to try to stem the tide a little bit. The Marauders down by 3, 11:33 to go. Lock Haven 60, Millersville 57.
We'll be right back.
Located south off the Centerville Road exit on Route 30 on Centerville Road in Sycamore Court is the Centerville Paint and Decorating Center. Our services include...
Bring in a sample paint chip or an old paint can and we'll match that color for you.
The best kept secret in town is our custom interior decorating loft with on-staff interior designer Terry Pfeiffer.
And I'd be happy to help you also with your fabrics, wall coverings, and custom window treatments.
But hey, enough about us. Tell us about you. Stop in with your decorating ideas. After all, that's our business.
Well, Millersville calling the timeout. Lock Haven making a run and up by 3, Steve.
Well, Lock Haven outscoring the Marauders by 8 points in the first 8.5 minutes of the second half. The Marauders are going to have to turn it up a notch, especially on the boards and defensively.
Nevin is back in the ball game, and he's got to do a job on the boards for Millersville and also maybe get some inside offense. As Millersville goes to a zone, it looks like. Nice block by Nevin. A big block by Phil Nevin.
Right away makes his presence felt.
Bradfield penetrates. Shot won't go. Nevin with a big board. He goes up. He had to be fouled.
And they got the foul. And it's going to be on Kriebel. I think it's on Kriebel.
Sure was. Nevin, I'll tell you what, Coach Chan must have lit a fire under Phil Nevin on the bench. Because Nevin playing with a lot more intensity now. And what a big play and a big move, because that is number 4 on Mr. Kriebel. So
Nevin at both ends of the floor. We talk about him not getting down so fast, but that time he got down in a hurry.
Nevin a wide body, and he had the angle on Kriebel down low. It got the rebound and drew the foul. Phil hits the first. Nevin can make up for a very poor first half with about 10 minutes of good basketball here. And he's contributed right away. Super at both ends of the floor by Phil Nevin. Lock Haven with a 1-point lead, but the franchise is on the bench.
Nevin's first 2 points since that jam very early in the game.
Jumper is good, as now Jaycott will be the man for Lock Haven. Jaycott hits baseline left. And the lead is 3 by the Bald Eagles.
No excuse for him being that open with Kriebel on the floor. Nevin with a sky hook.
Guess what? They're going to go to Big Phil now. 62-61, they've got him in the offense. I don't know what Coach Chan told him, but he better bottle it. The lead is 1. In the lane, drive off glass is good by Stacy Porter, who's played a nice floor game off the bench for the Bald Eagles. Lead is 3. Gaines goes to Nevin again. Off glass, Nevin again. Unbelievable. 64-63. There's a charge. Drive down the lane, they lost it on the bench. I can't believe there was no call either way.
Well, he wanted the foul, and could have just easily been called on him, but there were 3 Marauders standing there as well.
I don't know if this place will get any warmer, but the ball game itself is heating up. No doubt about that.
Well, they got three Marauders on Deco now, and somebody's got to be open. And he's really the only good outside shooter they have on the floor right now. It's inside shooters and Deco on the floor.
That is correct. As out front, they're leaving Bacon all alone. Now he drives. Nice block by Nevin and a kick. And they'll say rerun the 45-second clock. I believe it's going to be Lock Haven out of bounds. 64-63, Lock Haven by 1. We've got a good one here in Millersville. They're just going to let Bacon all alone out there. Make him take that shot. He's just passing it up. Jump shot is good. By Truman Green, he's an outside threat. They got to get on Green. They can leave Bacon open, but not Green.
Green, their second best three-point shooter for Lock Haven. And
Bradfield answers at the other end. Bobby Bradfield for 3. 67-66. Lock Haven by 1 with the ball. We're down at the 9:30 mark. We got a good one. There's Green penetrating. He's going to have to show some offense with Kriebel on the bench. See how they let Bacon all alone out front. There's Green, jump shot, no. Rebound, foul, there's a push-off on Bradfield.
Hard to imagine.
I thought it might have been Remensnyder pushing out. That's only the 15th foul in Norrisville, so Lock Haven will inbound underneath their own bucket. Good job by Phil Nevin.
Nevin comes out. They're going to have to give him a little breather, but based on his performance, I imagine he'll be back.
He certainly will. He gave him 5 good minutes there. 9:14 left. Out front, it's Bacon. See how they let Bacon go. Now he drives forward, commits the foul. And that's number 6, but that's a shooting foul, I'm sure.
So both teams shooting the rest of the way. 9 minutes to go. We'll see our share of free throws from here on in, because this has certainly been anything but a foul-free ball game.
Certainly has, but it's been a classic, as Lock Haven, trailing by 7 early in the second half, has made up the difference and taken the lead at 67-66. First shot misses almost everything as he's shooting into the teeth of that crowd. The Millersville crowd there doing everything they can. Shot is good, second one, 1-2. The lead is 2 by Lock Haven. Some pressure now in the backcourt as Bradfield breaks it.
Pagan giving a good accounting of himself tonight, 15 points.
Matt Harris for three, got it! Oh, Matt Harris with his third three of the ball game. And a lead of Millersville by one, 69-68. They go down low, whistle foul. I believe it's going to be a shooting foul, Steve.
I believe they pointed at Bard, and if they did, and they did, that's his fourth. So they're going to have to make a move with Nevin, or at least either that, or they're going to have to risk losing Bard, and Nevin's back into the lineup.
I'm sure Coach Chan would have liked to give Nevin a little bit more of a breather, but he had no choice with Bard with four as they went to Remensnyder against Bard on the mismatch.
Remensnyder, the surprise tonight. He's got 13 as he steps to the line for 1-and-1.
He missed. Rebound, Bradfield.
Nobody took the middle on
Harris
the break.
to Yankali, baseline left, got it! Eric Yankali with a power move. And the Marauders lead by three, 71-68. And the Bald Eagles want some time. And listen to that crowd here at Dusillo Gymnasium.
Well, you can hear the crowd. We'll be back with the last 8 minutes and 30 seconds. The Marauders lead at 71-68.
I said goodbye to high calories, thanks to the great taste of TCB White Frozen Yogurt.
And we say goodbye to ice cream. Bye, ice cream! Thanks to the taste of TCB White Waffle Cones and banana splits.
My team said goodbye to high calories.
Bye!
Because TCB White Frozen Yogurt tastes like premium ice cream with only about half the calories.
Goodbye, high calories.
You're never too young to say goodbye to high calories.
All the pleasure, none of the guilt. TCB White.
Check out TCBY at these Lancaster locations.
Well, we're back, and there's a good look at John Cochan in Millersville with a spurt. Went from 3 down to 3 up, and Lockhaven wisely called the TO.
We've seen lots of those spurts tonight both ways. Just when it seems one of the teams is taking control, the other one comes back, makes a run. Certainly the Marauders have done that now, but they're going to have to keep up the pace. They're playing a good ball club tonight.
No doubt about that. Two of the best teams in Division II in the country. Out front, it's Tremaine Green. Shot no good. Nevin grabs the ball. Looks for help. Got into the game. Millersville playing some tough D now. Bradfield out front. Big possession here. They could go up by 5. Gaines goes to Nevin, back to Gaines. Gaines, double pump, in the lane, got it! Tommy Gaines!
Haven't seen much of Gaines the second half, but he hits one there, and the Marauders stretch the lead to 5.
You got to believe Kriebel's going to be in here soon because there's no tomorrow for the Bald Eagles. Jaycott, no good. Tip. Millersville's Yankali has it. They want to run to Harris. Nothing there, Matt, but Matt lets fly. Bad shot, I thought, that time, Steve. Nobody underneath the board.
Coach agreed with you.
Did he?
Sort of gave Matt a little look there and said, only when you're wide open.
That's the thing. He wasn't even wide open, and there was nobody underneath. Down low, I believe, a travel as Nevin forces Remensnyder into a travel.
Well, they've got a war going inside at both ends. Elbows flying, a little bit of pushing off, and Remensnyder got the ball that time and said, I'm going to take it to Nevin, but he took a step before he did it, and the Marauders with a chance to stretch it to 7.
It's amazing how tightly they called the first 10 minutes of this basketball game, and as Steve mentioned, he's right.
Well, there's a war going on underneath. There's the clothesline. They're going to get Remensnyder. They could have gotten either one there, but it was Remensnyder who got his hand around Gaines' neck, and finally they called it. And there we just saw Tony Bacon throw the ball into Nevin's stomach.
Cooler heads will prevail. Yankali didn't like it. This is about the same point of the game in the first half where tempers flared. And let's face it, this is really a crises right now, or a big crunch time for both teams. Millersville's on the verge of opening things up, and Lockhaven trying to keep it close. Phil Nevin makes the first. What a factor he's been here in the second half. As much as he wasn't a factor in the first half, He's that much more here in the second half on a positive side.
Nevin has 9 points, just about his season average, 7 of them in the second half, and now he's got 10.
And it was when Phil Nevin came off the bench is when Millersville became ignited here in the second half. He and Yankali have had strong second half. The lead now is 7. Good defense as Matt Harris steals the ball.
Well,
now he's got it stripped in a basket by Tim Glass.
Good defense there by Glass and Bacon, and they end up with the easy 2 after the steal.
Lock Haven didn't give up. After they lost the basketball, they got the garbage bucket with a big defensive play. Nevin back to Bradfield for 3. In and out. And here comes the Bald Eagles. It's Bacon out front. They go low, and there's Nevin's 4th foul. Now it's an interesting decision for Coach Ann. Will he keep Nevin on the floor? Of course, Bard's got 4. It depends on whether he wants to go with that big team or the small team. And Nevin's playing well, so if he's still got some wind left in him, might as well go with it. 1 and 1, the first goes.
It's a tough place to shoot from. Of course, Snyder had to pronounce Kitchikoquillis his whole life. That's school on the way, on 322 on the way to Penn State.
Shot no good. Rebounds loose. Matt Harris got the basketball. Hold it up, Matt. He brings it back out and it's stolen from the blind side. Blocked by Gaines, but a foul. (75-71). Gaines from the blind side lost the basketball.
Well, on Gaines, that's his 3rd foul. He stayed out of foul trouble. He had 2 fairly early on in the game, just getting his 3rd now, 6 minutes to go.
Actually, that was a good foul by Gaines, as the layup would have been made. But now Lock Haven again has rebounded from that last Millersville surge, and they've cut the lead to 3.
The Marauders have stretched to 7, but now Lock Haven with 5 straight.
So we've got a timeout on the floor with the score, Millersville 75, Lock Haven 73.
Best Friends, it's back. Best Friends is back on cable channel 22 on Monday and Thursday at 7:30 p.m. with hosts Beverly Miller and co-hosts Krista Crago, Andrea Campbell, and John Hurst, bringing you vet talks, informative talks, grooming tips, and a few surprises and friends of our own. And of course, you'll see the animals lost and up for adoption, so join us for Best Friends, Monday and Thursday at 7:30 p.m. only on cable channel 22.
Millersville Marauder cheerleaders trying to get the Marauders fired up. And this game of spurts, now it's Lock Haven's turn to rally.
Well, it won't take much to get this crowd fired up, although a nice Marauder basket certainly would help, because they've been a little bit quieter here in the last couple of minutes as Lock Haven has made a little run. The Marauders with a 2-point lead, 6 minutes and 7 seconds left in this one.
6:07, a big possession here for Millersville. Just moments ago, they led by 5. Monroe brings the ball up the floor. Nevin's still in there along with Yankali, Gaines. And there's Gaines down low, double team, turns around and misses a shot. Rebound, Monroe. Oh!
Monroe's been awful effective on the offensive boards. That time he just missed the easy one.
Monroe in traffic and he's fouled. That's got to be frustrating. I think he expected some contact and he just put it up a little hard. That's the 4th on Bacon. So both teams getting themselves into a lot of foul difficulty. And as Steve mentioned, it was just a matter of time. We've got 5:44 left. A pair, or a big 1-and-1 here for Monroe. No good. And Lock Haven's got the rebound.
Well, I was looking to see, and he's back in. Dean Freebill back in with 6 minutes to go. So Lock Haven, no hold barred from here on in.
Jump shot, no good. Rebound, Gaines. Treble almost fouled over the top. Breakaway, Bradfield with a jam. Holy cow! That'll bring them out of their seats. 77-73. Bradfield out of nowhere. Broke loose after that shot was taken. Penetration, good, and he's fouled. Tony Bacon with penetration. All night, Tony Bacon's been penetrating and hurting Millersville defensively.
I have Bacon for 19 points, and as you said, he's a penetrator, and normally he's their assist man. He's averaging almost 10 assists a ball game, but tonight they're guarding the pass, and instead they're letting Bacon drive the lane. He's taking advantage of the situation for 19.
I tell you, not a whole lot to choose from. Lock Haven finishing second in the PSAC West. Really thought they were probably the best team out west. However, they had a slump at the end of the year and lost 3 out of their last 4 and let Shippensburg slide in there with a 500 overall record into first place.
Well, if they were weak at the end of the season, it's certainly not showing tonight.
77-76. The three-point play is completed. Millersville with the ball, a 1-point lead, and 5:10 left. Monroe to Nevin at the foul line. Every possession becomes very critical now. They go to Gaines. He gets by his man, draws the foul. It's on Kriebel.
I believe you're right. And
he's history.
Why they had Kriebel on Gaines, I don't understand. Why you would put your best offensive player on Tommy Gaines, who's very active inside, is beyond me, but they won't have him anymore.
You know, before the game, I was talking to John
Kriebel goes out of the game to the cheers of his teammates and also the Lock Haven fans. He tries to incite a little bit before he sits down for the final time tonight.
And he's hoping it's not his final time. But talking to Coach Ann before the game, I asked him about that matchup with Gaines and Kriebel, and he said, we're playing Tommy man-to-man against Kriebel, and he expected Kriebel to play Gaines. And so far, Gaines has won the war because Kriebel's got 5 and he's finished for the evening. Now the matter at hand is for Gaines to complete a couple foul shots.
Well, that's important with 4:55 left, but let there be no mistake about it. Lock Haven has played Millersville pretty even with or without Kriebel on the floor. So while he's a real shooting threat, he's not their whole offense.
And he certainly hasn't been a factor here in the second half whatsoever. And Millersville can ill afford to relax with Kriebel on the bench. They'll probably look to Green from the outside and Jaycott. Out front, there's Bacon. They'll just lay off him and let him hang out there with the basketball. Now Jaycott has it. Back to Green. Big possession for Lock Haven. They trail by 3.
Well, they have Stacy Porter out there, but they don't have Green, their other three-point shooter, out there.
Gaines reached in, commits the foul, and a bad foul on Tommy Gaines. Is that number 4?
That's number 4 on Tommy Gaines.
And that was a bad reach-in, as Porter had no inkling of going up with that basketball, yet he had not even obtained it on the pass. Gaines has got to stay clean for Millersville now for the final 4:27.
Little surprised that Truman Green's not on the floor, but Porter's done such a fine job tonight. They're keeping him out there, but he misses the front end of the 1-and-1, and as he has so many times tonight, almost forces the turnover. Tim Glass constantly reaching in, and 4 times than not, he's been successful getting the steal, although he's also drawn 4 fouls in the process.
Certainly has, and Steve, I don't know, one of the first things you teach those big men is that when they get that rebound, keep it up high when you're 6'10". Yankowie, turnaround won't go. Rebound, Lock Haven.
Good box out job by Remen Snyder on Nevin that time.
Nevin brings that ball down to the floor low, and he gets it stripped. Glass almost took the shot in the lane. Remen Snyder now guarded by Nevin with 4 fouls. He goes in, and Nevin had to just stay there with the hands up. 79-78, Millersville leads by 1.
Remen Snyder, 16 points, and Millersville is going to talk it over. 79-78, 3:45 left in this one. Don't go away. We'll be back with the final 3:45 right after this.
When I was just a little pup, where'd my people go? They said they'd never give me up. Where'd my people go? I'd never leave them. Why, oh, why did I believe them? I'm so lonely. Where'd my people go?
'79-78. Millersville by 1. 3:45 to go. Not a whole lot to choose from, these two clubs. They've battled tooth and nail from the start. Millersville led by 5 at half at 45-40. Lock Haven with a run in the second half, I believe, went up by 3. Millersville has the ball with a 1-point lead. It's Bradfield. Bradfield checked by Glass. Man-to-man pressure. They're staying off Nevin. Yankowie in the lane. Jumper, got it. Eric Yankowie with a big bucket there. 81-78. Bacon. They're not even guarding Bacon now, but nice give and go underneath. Stacy Porter with a bucket.
How many times tonight have we seen the give and go be Lock Haven's bread and butter? Many times with Bacon and now with Porter.
Nevin, they're laying off Nevin all alone. That lob to Yankowie. He's pushed out of bounds.
And I believe Jekko's going to
Somebody
get the foul
had to foul.
there.
Somebody had to foul, Eric. This game might be won or lost at the line, Steve.
Well, if we go overtime, and that's certainly a possibility, there's going to be a lot of people sitting this one out because that's Jekko's fourth.
And
he joins Glass and Bacon, and of course Kriebel's out of the game.
And if Millersville, I've never seen them really hold the ball, but if they start to hold the ball out there and draw a couple fouls, someone's got to go.
Well, they don't have the type of lead to draw the foul yet. It looks like Yankowie's a little bit shaken up. He wanted to take a second to recuperate there.
Eric's first. Goes down. That's the first one. That's the big one. Takes the pressure off a little bit. The lead is 2.
Yankowie with 13, going for 14.
And he's got it. Eric rolls it in. The lead is 3 at the 3:01 mark. Millersville trying to hang on with a date with Bloomsburg tomorrow night. The winner plays Bloom for the PSAC championship. A championship Millersville won on this very court in 1987.
That's going to be it for Nevin.
And that's all she wrote for Phil Nevin.
Reaching over the top, as so many of his fouls have been, trying to deny the ball to Remensnyder, who's really done a fine job tonight. He's been a real factor. He's kept Nevin busy, and he's gotten 5 fouls on him. And now it'll be interesting to see who will pick up the assignment of Remensnyder inside. Will it be, I'm sorry, our mistake, John.
All right.
My mistake.
Well, I had him
has
for
4
too. That's why he was still in there with 3, Steve. Shot won't go. Nevin with a big board. Keep it up high there, Phil. Monroe, 83-80. Monroe with the basketball. Big possession here. Nevin holds high. They're not going to play him. Monroe drives the lane. Big move. Mike Monroe. 10-footer off the drive. 85-80 Millersville.
Real team effort for the Marauders tonight. No one player. It's been different ones.
There's the 5th on Nevin. Now he's gone. Didn't take long. The next trip down the floor, Steve.
Why you don't take position against a guy who's a foot and 3 inches shorter than you. Get yourself caught up in the air.
You don't even have to leave your feet against a man like that, Steve.
So Nevin draws his 5th foul, gets a lot of applause from the crowd. He had 10 points, 8 of them coming in the second half, and including one stretch where he really carried the Marauders early in the second half.
He certainly did. Rob Bard is going to check in for Phil Nevin. And a nice standing O for Phil Nevin, who made up for a lackluster first half, leading the surge when Millersville found themselves trailing by 3 midway through that second half. Now we'll see if Lock Haven chooses to go to Remensnyder, who will probably be checked by Rob Bard, who has 4. And after that, maybe it's Donnie Ross, who's got some size. Shot no good. Lock Haven having some problems shooting into the teeth of that crowd.
Well, that's no. Marauders often take the other end in the first half for that exact reason.
85-81. The lead is 4. 2:16 left. Millersville leads. Monroe has it out top of the bar. Yank spins, shot, got it. No, won't go. Bard with a big board. In traffic, and he's
on the line, I believe.
Line.
And I think Lock Haven wants a timeout. Maybe not. Thought I saw him go give the T sign, but he's just saying slow it down. Wait for the good shot.
We're under 2. There's a jumper by Glass. Won't go. However, there's a travel underneath or a foul. A foul. One or the other.
Well, I'll tell you what happened first, but it wasn't the same thing that was called. And it's going to be on Bard, and that is his 5th.
I was going to say, I thought I had a travel up here. I should, a little premature, but he did leave his feet.
And now we're going to see, well, let's see who we're going to see. No move yet made by Cochan.
If he wants to go with a big man,
he's looking at
it's
the scouting
Ross.
report or something down there, trying to decide, well, who am I going to go with?
If he goes with a big man, it's probably Ross, or he may go with a 3-guard offense and bring in Matt Harris, and that looks like what he's going to do.
Now, another guy we haven't seen much of in the second half is Kenny Brown. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go with the ball handling, maybe a little bit better free throw shooter, take the chances, and not put in the freshman Don Ross.
He may have to go with Yankowie now on Remensnyder. He certainly doesn't want to go Gaines on him because I think Gaines has 4 now, doesn't he?
I'm positive he does, and Yankowie has, according to my record, Yankowie has only 1 foul, so that may be exactly what we see. Right now, we've got a timeout. Lock Haven has cut the lead to 4, 1:50 left. We'll be back with that right after this.
Whether you're raking it in or just trying to make it grow, watch CNN's Money Line.
Crazy up and down market.
Dan Dorfman, the insider, first with the big stories from Wall Street.
Individual investors have been
Myron Kandel, the expert analyst on economic ups and downs.
The market opened slightly higher.
And Lou Dobbs, managing the nation's premier business news team. Money Line, a safe bet when you're serious about your money. Weeknights at 7 and 11 Eastern on CNN.
Back here at Millersville, the Marauders with a 4-point lead. Lock Haven has the basketball. Actually, they'll be at the free throw line following Rob Bard's 5th foul. And interesting to see what the strategy is going to be here. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these free throws is missed to see Millersville freeze the ball a little bit. They have their best ball handling team on the floor. Bradfield, Harris, Monroe, Yankowie, and Gaines, all pretty good free throw shooters. They may try to freeze it out a little bit. Of course, in the college game, you only have 45 seconds, but they may try to hold on to it a little bit. Lock Haven, on the other hand, they've got to go with their best shooters, one of them being on the line, and he misses the first one. Jetcoat. They also have Remensnyder. They're going with Stacy Porter, who's given a solid effort tonight, and the guards, the seniors, Tony Bacon and Tim Glass, have had excellent ball games. I'm sure they'll go to them.
And here comes Green checking in, who is an outside threat. Tell you what, we don't have the shooting percentages from the line in the second half, but Lock Haven can't be much more than 50%. As they make 1 and 2 there, it's 85-82. We'll see, as Steve mentioned, what Millersville does with this possession. A big one at that with a 3-point lead.
Well, Gaines and Yankowie take their usual spots in the low post.
Look to go to Gaines, and there's a foul. You got to go to your meal ticket. And if Millersville can go up by 5, they'd be in pretty good shape here with 1:40 left, but there's a lot of time.
Well, I think we saw right there that Stacy Porter's forte is not defense. He just grabbed Gaines. That was about all he could do to stop the 2 points. Probably a smart foul. His first foul, but not nearly the defensive player that Kriebel is. And, of course, Kriebel's defensive skills got him 5 fouls, and he's no longer available.
And I think what Coach Blank is doing for Lock Haven is he is sitting J-Coat on defense and bringing him in on offense as he checks in right now. Because I think J-Coat might have 4 fouls also. As Gaines hits the first, he'll get a second. 2 big ones by Tommy Gaines, and it's 87-82 Millersville. 1:38 to go.
Tommy Gaines, a 70% free throw shooter, hits 2 big ones there.
There's a drive by Bacon. And they called the timeout, and Coach Blank did not want it. He did not want the timeout there, but the kids took it. And And with 80, with a minute 29 left in the score, Millersville 87, Lock Haven 84. We'll be right back.
Check in on Nick and Fred.
We're going to have a little fun tonight.
So catch. Somebody's going to get hurt here, I know.
Well, I've got one thing to say to you, pal.
One thing? Oh, come on, I want a prediction now.
Elvis to come to
See Nick and Fred in action.
So catch CNN Sports tonight.
every night at 11:30 on CNN.
For sports-only team, it's Nick and Fred, only on CNN.
One thing we have not seen tonight, except for a couple reach-ins after buckets, is a strong Lock Haven press. They do have two good guards in Bacon and Glass, and let's see, they almost have to press here. Let's see what they try to do. And the Marauders bring all 5 players back to bring the ball up.
Well, the press they normally use is a 2-2-1 zone, but now it looks like a 3-2 zone press, if you will.
Not too much pressure. They're still relying on that 45-second clock with a minute 25 left, knowing that Millersville's got to take it up.
They go to Gaines again, the meal ticket, and he's fouled in the lane. I believe that was Porter again, Steve.
It was Porter. The Lock Haven fans and Porter didn't agree, but the official got the foul, and Gaines once again becomes the man with the pressure on him at the line, shooting 2, I believe, this time.
And here's the identical move again, as Jaycoat was not there on defense, checked in on offense. And coming out now is Glass. Gaines with, again, a big 1-and-1. No, make it 2, and fortunate for Millersville, it is 2, as Gaines misses the first.
I can't believe we haven't seen more of Jayco from the three-point area. I don't think he's taken the three-pointer all night.
Well, it'll take it more than a three-pointer now, as it's 88-84, but there's still plenty of time left. A minute 15 to go. Bacon on a weave to Green. There's a jumper. Oh, good. Big rebound, Tommy Gaines. Now Millersville will hold the ball. There's no doubt about that. There's a minute left. Millersville has a 4-point lead, and Coach Chan is saying spread it out.
Gaines with a quiet 24 tonight, according to my record.
There's Bradfield running the delay. Great job by Bradfield.
26 seconds left on. Oh, there's
tipped away, but Gaines picks it up to Harris.
20 seconds.
Harris is hammered.
20 seconds left on the clock when that foul occurred. That time, for the first time, Lock Haven could not afford to wait out the 45 seconds. The Marauders with a 4-point lead, and the Marauders knew it, went right to their stall game, and they have 5 of their best ball handlers on the floor. And who's going to go to the line, John?
Matt Harris, I believe. He had the basketball when they grabbed him. If it's someone other than Matt Harris, it's an intentional foul because he had the basketball.
Harris is 76% free throw shooter. If you look at the Marauders, Gaines is 70%er, Yankowie 70%, Monroe 70%, Harris 76, and Bradfield 75. Well, I wasn't rounding off. They're all three of those are literally 70% free throw shooters.
Well, if Matt makes the first and gives them a 5-point lead, it'll take 2 possessions, and one of them will have to be a 3-pointer. Matt's first is golden, and a bucket here would force Lock Haven to shoot 2 3-pointers, barring Millersville not scoring the rest of the evening here in regulation.
Matt Harris getting back in the flow tonight. He's got 9 points. If he cans this one, it'll be 10. And that's very important for the Marauders to have that big guard coming off the bench.
2 big ones by Harris. Steve, I think he hit the nail right on the head. It's been a team effort here tonight by Millersville. We're going to keep it right here as we've had a steady diet of timeouts in the final 2 minutes. But Millersville overall as a team has had a lot of efforts. As you look at the Millersville bench, the brain trust, Coach Chan in the middle there. I'm sure the first thing he's telling them is no fouls. Don't let Lock Haven get points on a dead clock.
Well, now, of course, I've been saying this for the last 2 minutes. You got to look for Jekode on the outside. He's their 3-point gunner. They need 2 3-pointers. It's the only way they're going to get back into this ball game. As you alluded to, a great team effort for Millersville tonight. They've kept it really balanced. Tommy Gaines, for the 12th time in the last 13 games, is going to be the leading scorer, but he certainly wasn't the whole story. Monroe did a good job off the bench. Phil Nevin had one good stretch. Yankowie had two nice stretches during the ball game. Bobby Bradfield had a nice stretch where he made things happen. So from time to time, people pick things up. Gaines actually had a pretty rough first half shooting-wise, not really hitting as many shots as he usually does. So it was not a one-man effort tonight, and the Marauders could be rewarded with a trip to the finals against Bloomsburg tomorrow night.
Glass has it. They go to Jeffcoat. He shoots it up. There's a foul, and I just don't understand why they even were close to fouling.
Well, now Mike Monroe, I guess that's his fourth foul. I was thinking if that's his fifth, he's got to go listen to Coach Ann tell him what a dumb foul that was.
It's a safe bet. It's probably a safe bet that almost everyone on the floor right now has 4. We're down to 31 seconds. I'm not sure if that was a 3-point attempt, but it was close.
Yeah, had he canned that, and of course, could have been a 4-pointer.
Jeffcoat makes the first. Jaycoat, excuse me. This is the second. And Yank with a rebound. Yankowie. Lock Havens had chances to cut into that lead at the foul line, and I don't think they've done more than 50% from there, and it's come back to haunt them.
Well, I don't have the misses, but Lock Havens hit 18 free throws. The Marauders have hit 23, so that 5-point difference is the 5-point difference on the scoreboard.
There's the miss by Yankowie. It was 5 at half at 45-40. Now it's 90-85. No fouls. Jump shot. Jaycoat. No good. Tipped loose. Bradfield's got it. Dribbling away some precious seconds, and he's fouled by Green. That's a holding foul. I was almost going to say intentional, but he had the basketball.
He was having trouble catching Bradfield. And the Marauders, I think we can start to talk about that trip. Tomorrow night, that game will be on cable. Bill Arnold and Jim Doherty bringing you all the action. Millersville and Bloomsburg. The two teams split during the regular season. The Marauders losing up at Bloomsburg, then coming back to beat Bloomsburg here. And of course, it is a big factor that game will be played here. The Marauders winning that honor by virtue of winning the conference.
And what was interesting is Bloomsburg and Millersville both finished with a 10-2 record. Well, I believe it was something called the Krause count, some type of a power rating. Millersville schedule difficulty, be as it may, the Marauders got the home court advantage in the first place finish. And their only loss this year on this floor is the Cheney. In fact, I think Millersville's lost like 5 times here in the last 5 years, and 3 of them have been to Cheney.
Also wants to Kutztown. Okay, 11 seconds left in the ball game, and we're going to keep it here.
11 seconds left. As you said, I think we can count it down. 90-85. It'll be a big pro-Millersville crowd here tomorrow night. They've just announced on the floor the tickets will go on sale for tomorrow night's contest in the lobby.
Well, it looks like a lot of people are heading for the lobby for a little bit early for that type of celebration, but people are going to buy their tickets right now.
I was going to say, maybe they're just going to buy their tickets. They want to come back for the celebration.
Of course, if you don't have a ticket and you get shut out of a ticket, stay home, watch it on cable tomorrow. Bill Arnold and Jim Doherty bringing you the action. What will probably be the final cable game of a long and very successful basketball season on cable.
Maybe the only outside chance would be if Millersville could win and get a bid here, but that's down the road. 5 seconds left. Millersville gets the basketball on another foul, and this one's all over but the shouting at Fusillo. As the Marauders are going to have a date with their old friends from Bloomsburg tomorrow evening.
Got to give Lock Haven a lot of credit, and there's going to be another timeout on the floor. With Kriebel, their big gun, in foul trouble all night long. They stayed with Millersville point for point. The Marauders finally taking the lead for good with 9 minutes left in the ball game. Harris hit a bucket, a 3-pointer, to give Millersville the lead, but all night they stuck with the Marauders. And the biggest lead of the night for Millersville was only 7 points, and I think a lot of people thought that the Marauders with the home court advantage would be all that Lock Haven could handle, especially with Kriebel in foul trouble. And a lot of credit has to go to guys like Timmy Glass and Tony Bacon, 2 senior guards, for Lock Haven, who had excellent ball games.
Certainly did. Looking at your running score there, Steve, it looked like Lock Haven had 3 different leads of 3 points at 60-57, 62-59, and 64-61, and 66-63. Their biggest lead of the night. But Millersville answered the bell as Coach Ann called a timeout as the Marauders were trailing by 3. And they came and rallied and won a big one here. And at the buzzer, good if it goes, it doesn't. Millersville going to the finals as they defeat the Lock Haven Bald Eagles by a score of 90-85. And we'll be back to wrap it up right after these timeout messages.
Located south off the Centerville Road exit on Route 30 on Centerville Road in Sycamore Court is the Centerville Paint and Decorating Center. Our services include:
bring in a sample paint chip or an old paint can and we'll match that color for you.
The best kept secret in town is our custom interior decorating loft with on-staff interior designer Terry Pfeiffer.
And I'd be happy to help you also with your fabrics, wall coverings, and custom window treatments.
But hey, enough about us. Tell us about you. Stop in with your decorating ideas. After all, that's our business.
Welcome to A Difference in Movies, AMC's Wonderland Theaters. We offer quality entertainment at reasonable prices. Check out the discount rates and bring the family. Stop by the concession stand. The popcorn is popped fresh every day. Or try any of the delicious snacks, all reasonably priced, so bring a date. A perfect gift any time of the year. Pick up AMC gift certificates at the box office. AMC's Wonderland Theaters, located on Route 30 East, next to Dutch Wonderland. Call 394-7251 for exact showtimes and prices.
Near McCaskey High School on North Franklin Street is a full service station whose service can't be beat. Get out of the cold and into Durs Amico, your full service station. Durs has personalized care on tune-ups, oil changes, and all car repairs. Durs will fully service all your winter needs, from ultimate premium to batteries, wiper blades, and all accessories. Full winter service includes cleaning at Durs Self-Serve Car Wash. And think Durs for your state inspection. Call 299-4030. Durs Amico, across from McCaskey.
We're back here at Fusilla Gymnasium, a victorious Millersville Marauder basketball team into the finals of the PSAC to take on Bloomsburg tomorrow night as they defeat Lock Haven here 90-85. Bloomsburg beating Shippensburg in the first game here tonight convincingly. It'll set up the matchup tomorrow evening at 8. It wasn't easy as Millersville and Lock Haven battled evenly for most of the first half. Millersville's biggest lead, I think Steve said, was 7. It was 3 with about 5 seconds left in the first half, and Lock Haven had the ball, a chance to tie it or cut it to 1. They committed a foolish foul. Millersville went up by 5 at the half, 45-40. They got the first 2 points of the second half, went up by 7, but Lock Haven came back and actually took the lead on numerous occasions, as many as 3 points on 4 different occasions, and had Millersville on the ropes. However, down the stretch, Kriebel fouled out, was not much of a factor at all in the second half. Phil Nevin comes off the bench, has a strong second half, and as we mentioned numerous times, the entire team chipped in at various times here this evening to lead Millersville into the finals in a well-deserved victory, 90-85. Steve, final comments?
Well, like you said, Kriebel had only 6 points in the second half, quickly running down the scoring for the Marauders. 6 guys in double figures. That's the balance we were talking about. Unofficially, Gaines 25, Bradfield and Yankowie 14 apiece, Monroe 12, Matt Harris and Phil Nevin with 10 each. For Lock Haven, 22 for Tony Bacon, an outstanding effort for the senior guard. 16 for Kriebel, 16 for Remensnyder, a surprise inside that gave Millersville all that they could handle. Basically, the Marauders won it because of their better shooting percentage. They did not hit the boards all that particularly well tonight. Lock Haven did an excellent job on the boards. They forced numerous Millersville turnovers, but in the fourth quarter of the game, the last 10 minutes, when the Marauders took control, they stopped turning the ball over. They did better on the boards. All the players got into the flow of the game. They took control, and within the last 2 or 3 minutes, they beat them at the foul line, and consequently, they're in the finals. And a win tomorrow night, they definitely have the bid. A loss tomorrow night, maybe they do, maybe they don't. So,
great job, Steve. Excellent analysis in the second half. Great interview, and just a super basketball game for Millersville. And I'm glad they won it so that Jim Doherty and Bill Arnold can do the championship game tomorrow night. They've carried the Millersville broadcast most of the year, and they deserve that championship game. We're going to wrap this thing up in a hurry, and we'd like to thank these fine sponsors for making this game possible. They were Durs Amico, your full-service station located on North Franklin Street across from McCaskey. Domino's Pizza, no problem. Pizza delivered free in 30 minutes. By AMC Wonderland Cinema 4, located on Route 30 East, next to Dutch Wonderland. By TCB Wine, the country's best yogurt, with 4 locations in Lancaster to serve you. And by CBD Centerville Paint and Decorating Store, located in Sycamore Court on the Centerville Road. Proud to sponsor tonight's game. So for Steve Geisenberger, this is John Graham bidding you so long from Fusillo. The final score, Millersville 90, Lock Haven 85. The Marauders a date with Bloomsburg for the PSAC Championship tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. If you can't be here, it's on Cable 22. Good night, everybody.